Hello, hello, and we are live again. I started to love those sessions. Feels very normal talking to you, and I hope you are enjoying those sessions as well. And I must be very honest. I got some questions in regards sugar craving yesterday. Some of you actually contacted me and said, I have this problem, I have experienced this problem, and what is the solution here, Daria? And I have solutions. So I actually have added this live topic especially for you. So as you see, I'm very responsive for your questions. And if you've got more questions, please comment, subscribe, and join HPM Wellness and our health transformation journey. So today topic, 7 steps, I should add S, to address sugar cravings. We are not perfect. Right, I go straight to the point because I know that this is a very big problem for female as well, I think for men, and I really would love to help you, and hopefully you can resolve this problem forever the way I have resolved for myself, and I have resolved this for my customers. Okay, so step number 1 is build an awareness about sugar cravings. So how can you really know you've got sugar cravings if you are not aware of sugar cravings? So I would suggest walk around with an idea that maybe when you are eating anything that is sugar, actually that comes from a craving. Then further, you will be able to develop an idea that we have got different types of cravings. Maybe not just physical craving, maybe mental or emotional craving or lack of fulfillment. But you have to start somewhere. So work with an idea that maybe when you eat sugar, there is something behind, there is some root cause of the problem. Maybe start to observe how when you eat that sugar, you feel. Do you feel better for a moment? But then what is happening? What is happening in 2 hours? What is happening 1 hour before you are having the sugar craving? How do you sleep? Is there any difference between you having sugar craving or having sugar throughout the day? Is there any difference on your sleep, on your relationships, on your partnership, on your focus, on your memory, on your peak performance? Walk around with the idea that sugar cravings are existing, and maybe when you are having sugar is not something, I don't want to say natural, but maybe it is not something you should be experiencing, and maybe there is a way you could help yourself and optimize your health and feel better and healthier. Okay. Step number 2, address blood sugar regulations. So another reason why you might be having these cravings is because your blood sugar is dropping too low. And yes, blood sugar has fluctuations throughout the day, and we want to maintain an optimal level of our blood sugar. And then when we are, for example, having breakfast that contain lots of simple carbohydrates, maybe when we are having coffee and after then we have another coffee, that is going to affect what's going on with our blood sugar. Stressful situation is going to affect our blood sugar. Going without food, I know that there is a topic of fasting, and that is not a conversation I want to have now, but some people cannot just last without eating for too long, and fasting is supposed to help them to optimize insulin sensitivity. But if you are going for too long, that's maybe also affecting what's going on with your with your blood sugar. And then you having sugar as a result of blood sugar dysregulation, because you want a quick energy source, and usually you will much faster peak for something sugary than peaking, for example, for unhealthy fat. So now you are aware. you build an awareness with step number 1. You know that there is a possibility that you eating sugar because of blood sugar dysregulation. Step number 3 is address gut health. And I remember in my journey with sugar cravings, I never would be thinking that imbalances in my gut flora, and I know that I've been overusing my digestive system for a long time. Just even, for example, by being an athlete, I would be producing lots of adrenaline and lots of cortisol, which had to be metabolized, obviously, and that on its own would be affecting my gut health and gut health integrity. I would be eating lots of sugar as an athlete, just lack of awareness, and I would be replenishing my my energy, and that's what I would be having. And that would be affecting my healthy gut bacteria, because that would begin to feed this but more pathogenic bacteria flora, which then would be overgrowing. And I remember when I reached to a naturopathic doctor in 2010, and we've done stool test, I actually came back that I had candida. And so I had to work on this. I had to further balance the candida. You don't want to completely kill it, but you wanted to balance so it's not pathogenic anymore. And so looking at your gut health, that would be a good way to start. Are you having bowel movement every single day? You feeling bloated? You feeling that when you're eating sugar, maybe there is some form of worst bowel movement? So again, it's coming down to awareness and observation of yourself. And there is always help. There are certain types of probiotics that are going to help with, for example, like in my case, candida. But this is not for you to be diagnosing you here, giving you like a personalized solution. Not at all. If you have any problems and you're observing in yourself some tendencies around gut, and when you eat sugar, obviously when you eat sugar, that is itself going to affect gut bacteria, but we know that our gut bacteria are a little bit telling us what food choices to make. And I have been again observing this in my clinical practice. So be aware of what's going on with your gut and what foods you are craving in regards to that. I think this is the big one. Step 4, add healthy fats into your nutrition. Notice I'm not talking about diet, I'm talking about nutrition. Diets starts and finish. But healthy fats, I think generally women are loving to cutting fats. They're thinking that is going to make them fat. And that is one of the fat trends from the past. Now we know that actually ketogenic diets are supporting insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, and they often suggested for people who suffer from blood sugar dysregulation, as well as, for example, Mediterranean diets also are really good. They are full of fiber, and fiber also is needed for to support blood sugar regulation. But let's here focus on fats and assess your nutrition. See what you're eating and what type of micronutrients are coming into your menu. It is only you are focusing on this white processed food and maybe some protein, or do you have a little bit of olive oil? Have you got a little bit of avocado, some nuts, some almonds, a little bit of seeds? Avoid oils from vegetables. They are actually omega-6 fatty acids, and that's what you don't want. So fats are a great way to support the way blood sugar regulates, and it's another source of micronutrients, supporting that as well as proteins. But then, if you feel and you already have enough proteins, maybe then you can pay attention more to healthy fats. Yes, fantastic. Now we are having protein plus fats for breakfast. And again, I'm not going to discuss the fasting methods here. Generally, I would suggest to keep a good amount of protein, that's 20 grams, 30 grams of protein in the morning, together with healthy fats. And again, for breakfast, to maintain and to hold you, to give you a sensation of fullness. And that is great breakfast also that supports females' hormones. So female hormones also going to be dictating what is going on with our cravings. So around premenstrual, in time of premenstrual syndrome, you might feeling more of cravings. So then, yes, have some good fats and some good proteins to support this regulations. If you are vegetarian, that's also, I see it's very common. You forgetting about sources of quality of protein, and I don't say that you cannot maintain your diet with quantity of protein you are going to eat, but definitely you need to pay more attention to the quality of proteins you are eating. You cannot just rely on oat in the morning, and then you have in more carbs, and then again you have in more carbs. Then definitely you will missing on certain macronutrients. Address your emotional well-being, and that is very, very big one, and that comes from HP method. Addressing your mental health and your emotional health through mindfulness and through awareness, how my emotions dictating my choices. And that is very common. We, as a busy ladies and busy CEOs, busy founders, busy high achievers, mothers, performing highly, we just forgetting, and we're running or with food or without food. That is all. That's why I'm saying not always what I see in my clinical practice is supporting women doing this prolonged fasting. But you need to start to connect the dots. Is that emotional craving, and is ending up with me eating that particular type of food? It is coming from me being stressed from work, from children, from not eating. Maybe it's an important meeting. Maybe it's a self-worth. Maybe it's that time of the month. Maybe it's the hormonal change in perimenopause and menopause. Maybe it's an argument with my partner, or it's just generally the connection you are having with yourself. So build awareness around that, because that is a big component of sugar cravings. And bear in mind, all of those tips I'm sharing with you, I have used on myself. I have discovered that I had sugar cravings. And I remember when I came to I was telling you about my Snickers and Mars bar, but the sugar cravings were continue for probably 5, 6, or 7 years. And when I came to London, until I've realized that me eating half packet of digestive biscuits wasn't a solution. It was something was triggering. Obviously, I needed energy post training, and maybe I did not give myself enough protein post training, but there was some emotional component to it. I was going through trauma, through some form of depression that I wasn't even aware of. And that's resulted me of having this additional sugar. And once again, something that comes from HP method is mindful eating. You want to be mindfully consuming food. And I know that it's very difficult when you are busy, high-achieving women, and high-achieving in many means. And you're running around, and now I have to have a moment for myself to eat. And that is the most common problem I see in those women. I don't have time to eat. I'm like, you've got time for everyone else, but you don't have time to eat. How then can you support your family emotionally, your family, your partner, your husband, your coworkers? If you are a leader, how can you then lead those people? You need to start to think about yourself. And I'm coming with a great podcast about that, how you have to start from yourself. And I really would love that you find a moment during the day when you mindfully consume. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you actually connect with the food you are eating. So your brain is recognizing that actually you eating. And then the body has chance to release all the digestive enzymes starting from your mouth, your stomach, your pancreas, so everything is going to support the physiology of your digestion and connection between gut and brain. So you're getting the best nutrients out of food you are eating. And then, when you are in relaxed mode, you are not stimulating this fight and flight response, which increase cortisol, and then that's increase the insulin, and is like all cascade of biological and physiological responses. So yes, I hope you enjoy those tips. As much as you enjoy, I hope that they are going to be helpful, and in some way they're going to transform your connection with food. Food is connection, food is a messenger, and has power to transform your being. And trust me, that is real. That is not woo wow stuff. So once again, going through everything, build an awareness about sugar cravings, address blood sugar regulation, address your gut, get aware of your gut health, add healthy fats in your nutrition, protein and fats for breakfast, address your emotional being, and that emotional being around menstrual cycle. Address these hormonal changes. If you notice that you suddenly have those funky symptoms that you never had, and you don't recognize yourself anymore, ask yourself what is going on, right? Maybe there is some perimenopausal, menopausal change, and give yourself time to eat with mindful eating. Thank you so much for listening. As always, subscribe to HPM Wellness. We're going to share more. We're going to dive deeper and dig deeper into women's health, peak performance, and what to do and what not to do to live healthy and have healthy longevity and optimal peak performance. Stay well, take care, bye.